Let's make some fun, interactive ephemera. I do hope you will join me for today's tutorial. Hi everyone, welcome to Hilltop View Journals. Today I want to be focusing on ephemera for my mini junk journals, and I want to be focusing on interactive elements as part of RachandBella Crafts 100 Days of Junk Journaling Ideas. So what I thought I'd start by doing is some colour washing on very cheap mixed media paper. I've already started. I kind of used these colours just to get rid of some pigment a while ago, so some of it I don't like. This colour will definitely be okay, and this colour here as well, which is sort of like a yellowy colour. But I wanted to do some more this morning, and I'll just use the backs of these, and I've got some more paper as well. It's quite it's quite heavy. I think it's probably about 200 GSM in the UK, but it certainly isn't watercolour paper, more like drawing paper. So I'm using this small watercolour set by Kuretake, and you can get it on Amazon, and it's got very subtle colours. And I did find when I was doing my grid journaling that these colours really did match Rachel's sewing themed kit. So I'm going to use those today. And all I'm going to do at this minute in time is have a little bit of messy fun and do some colour washing. And this pink is gorgeous for this. And you could do colour washing in a number of ways. I'm just using a paintbrush. But what you can do as well is you can put the paint down and then use a spray just to move it around the page. Now, I don't think I need to put that much pigment down because the kit is very subtle with its colours. So I just want a hint of colour on these pages so that I can then use them with my scraps and yeah, just have a nice subtle background. You could do this on the front and the back so that you've got some colour on the back as well, which is nice. You can take the white off, and I may do that as well, but that's the first one. So these take a little while to dry, so I want to do this just before my morning starts, and then by the time I get back into my craft space, then they'll be nice and dry and I can start working on them. So I'm going to do another pink one because why not? I love pink. And sometimes it's nice to be doing something like this instead of printing, so that you've got a nice background. And something different than tea dyeing, I think. There we go. So I'll just colour that. So I'm going to do a couple of more colours now, and then we can come and have a look at what we can make. So let's have a play with the paper that I've already got stained, which is dry. So I'm going to let those others dry, and then I need to do a second coat on the back of some of them, so that will take a little while. So I'm going to work in this journal for the moment. Even though it is stuffed with ephemera, I may want to take some of that ephemera out and reuse it in other journals. So the size of this is about 5¼ inches in height, which is just shy of 13.5 centimetres. And then it's just over 3¾ inches wide, which is about 10 centimetres. And if I look in here now, I popped that tag in. So I want to make something that's bigger than that, and probably round about this size. So I'm just using what I've got as a guide. Again, these are slightly too small for me, So I want tags that are going to pop their heads over the edge of the page. So let's use this one as a guide. And this one is 5 inches in length, which is 12.5 centimetres, and 2.25 inches wide, which is about 5.5 centimetres. So I want to make this taller, but I quite like the the width of it. So I'm just going to do a little bit of cutting so that I can get my width right. Of course I could measure. Obviously I could measure. But that's not how my brain wants to work. My brain wants to do just templates. Because it's just easier. Because there's nothing worse than measuring and then it still doesn't work out. And then you think, well, I've measured that. Why doesn't it work? And then you think, oh, because I'm useless at measuring. So I've cut that stage out altogether. So I don't have to tell myself I'm useless at measuring anymore because I don't measure. See, there's method in my madness. But you got to do you. So if you want to measure, you measure. If you want to do straight, you do straight. Look at that. Look how crooked that is. Now, so if I go, I'm going to get one straight at least. Okay, so that's spare. That's not too bad. Yeah, I can live with that. I can live with that. Doing props, I can live with it. So I want to make this now a bit higher. So let's do a width of the ruler. And of course, do not get rid of these tiny little pieces because they are treasures, absolute treasures. So if I popped, so you can see now that's a little bit too high. Just a tad. So we'll cut that down a tiny little bit and then we're good to go. So we'll square these up a bit then. So let's just go down just a little bit more. And yes, I probably will bin those pieces. Although I'm sure I could use them for something like labels or something maybe. Okay, we'll keep them. And then let's straighten this up. Like that. I will get rid of those. Only because I've got plenty of them. Okay, let's... Yes, lovely. They're going to pop out just nice. And they will also be perfect for this size journal. Because by the time they sit in their pockets, they'll probably pop out there. They will be too big for my other little journal, which is this one. But I think I'm going to have to do sort of bespoke little items for this one. So we'll leave that for now. And then let's just do a couple of strips. Pop that back in its home so I don't lose it. And we'll do a couple of the pink ones as well. And the first thing to make a tag interactive, the easiest thing to do is to actually make it into a tag with a belly band. So we need to cut our tag shape. So I'm just using the square on my cutting board to get a lovely triangle shape. And so that turns out just like that. And what I'm going to do is use some of the bits I've got cut off. So this is going to be quite a large belly band because I want to get that image in there, and it is off center, so what I'll probably do is a little bit of a embellishment on the side there, and then I'm going to cover the back as well. Now I don't anticipate that these tags are going to be written on, so I will be using my cut-offs from the kit, but I might use something like this, for instance, because that is quite a nice piece, or even that, I might use that. We'll see now. So it's quite a large belly band there. And so I'm going to stitch it all the way around the tag. And I will just ink it while I'm here. And that's going to go like that. And then shall I think I prefer to have something on the back because you're going to see the back. So I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to glue it lightly because I'm stitching around, so I don't need glue all the way around. But if you're not going to stitch, which is absolutely perfectly fine, then just make sure you glue all your edges down. What I'll probably do as well is I will stitch along there as well, so that you've got top and bottom stitching, and then we need something to go inside this, so I could use something like this. Let's have a look what kind of scraps I've got here. Got lots of strips of scraps. I want something subtle. This is probably the best piece I've got. So if I fold it in half, so it's just be a little journaling spot to go inside there. So you can also embellish this, which I obviously need to do. I need to make some clusters. That will go like that, and that will go in there like that. So probably whatever you do with this one, you want to put it up there. Okay, but I don't want to do that until I do this little bit here. So I think that is ready. So it's quite a bright tag. It's quite a bright pink, but I think it brings out the subtleness of that quite nicely. So I'm going to clip this together, and that'll be something to take to the sewing machine. So on this one, I've gone ahead and I've cut my little triangles out there. I've backed it with this lovely kit paper. So this is quite nice and sturdy now. And all I'm going to do for this one is add a little corner tuck. So that will go on the side there. Which I will stitch on. And then we just need something to put in that space. So I've got to make it smaller. So let's have a look at this. We'll go sort of there and maybe there. And I'm going to fold it. So I don't have to think about backing it. And cut it as straight as I can. And so for the size, let's go about there. So I've used the same type of kit from there and there. I don't think it's exactly the same page, but it matches really nicely. So got a little bit of cohesion there. So that will go in there like that. This needs embellishing, but for now, this is the base. And I do like to do my embellishing at the end, when I've actually got the bases, because then I find I've got a little bit more of an idea of what I need. I'll still do too many things, of course, but that's that one I'm going to stitch. And then this one quickly, I need to back this again, so I'm going to use this page next. It's so beautiful. I love these pages. They're so pretty. I love the subtle colours. So this is just a piece of the franking page that I made in one of my previous videos. So that's going to fit just inside there like that. So just a simple pocket. And then I thought I would do another simple little journaling card there. So I'm going to glue that. And scallop punch it all the way around. And that will fit in there like that. And then what we can do is we can have embellishments on here and on here and even on here. So that's another simple way of making a nice little interactive piece of ephemera for your journaling kit. I'm just going to pop a paper clip on there, and that's another thing that I'll be taking to the sewing machine. And I love that on the back then, that's just so pretty. I wanted to create some additional interactive elements to put my tags and things in as well. So this is a lovely little idea from, I saw it on Melina Plant, Me Crafty Scrapper, as she's better known as, and I'll link her video in the description box. There's a couple of ideas I really like that I can transfer into the minis, so the mini size, because obviously not everything works with a mini journal, but this is so easy and really pretty, I think. So all you've got is a piece of paper to the size that you want, and then you fold it, and then it folds over the page edge. She did it with a book page, but I'm going to do it with a digital kit. So I'm going to do the same width as I've done before, and if I cut it out, I can then show you basically, you can just measure the size of your signature page in your journal and then go from there. I think that's the easiest way. It's about, so my signature pages are A5 folded in half. So you just want to do half of that again. I think that's probably the easiest way to explain it. So obviously I want this to fold, and I want to leave a little bit of space on the page. So let's cut it to size. Let's cut it to the other way so I can show you. So I don't want this one too high. I want this a little bit smaller. This one is quite high, so when I fold it, it's quite high there. So I want to make a smaller one. So let's just cut that like that. So now I've got my piece of paper. And if I fold that in half, I've got my bone folder here. So that's the size I'm looking for. So I've got some nice space around the page there. So I'm going to open this up now. And let's have a look. I think I want that on the inside. So I've chosen paper that's, as all the colours are kind of delicate anyway, I wouldn't say they're contrasting, but they are certainly complementary. There's some lovely colour mixing there. And so what you want then is you want, let's do that again. So I've got my piece of paper here now, landscape mode, and I just fold it up a little bit to give me some pockets, and then you fold it back again. So you've got that, just like that. And I did do a little notch in each one of these. Didn't quite get the middle, but let's see if I can do a better job this time. So I'm just doing a tiny notch. I'm using very thin paper, so it doesn't bulk up the journal too much. So that's going to fold that way. So you've got your pockets on the outside. And it goes in like that. So I think what I want to do as well is I think I want to make some pretty edges. So I'm going to use my scallop punch again. You can round them. I rounded these ones. Oops. So I want to do that side and that side. So and what you could do, if you glued this onto the page, you could then create a tab from this bit sticking out. But what I want to do is use a paper clip, and you can glue this bit here, which I'm going to stitch actually. No, I think what I'll do is I'll glue this one. I'll glue this one in place to show you, and I think I'll stitch the other one. So let's do a bit of ink in here. So just want to glue the edges here. Just like that, as Tommy Cooper would say. And then that's your little flip edge. So I'm going to find a different one, a different page for it to go on. Doesn't quite go with that pink, I don't think. What have I got here? I've got that many pages left, really. They're so delicate, the colours. I mean, they're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Here we go. I mean, once you've got stuff in there, then you'll be able to see it a lot better. So if I just clip that on there like that, and then I've got a couple of little pieces. So you'll have something in there. And let's put something in here. No, let's get something a bit brighter. Like that there. And then when you unclip it, you've then got some space on the other side to journal. But you could also put some pockets in there as well. Depends on how bulky you want this to get. But yeah, possibilities are endless. So I think that's a really nice interactive element to put in your journal. So I am going to add that to my stitch pile. And let's make another one again, just in case I didn't explain that too well. So I've got a sheet of paper here. And I've got my page edge. So let's do this the other way around. Okay, so that's a good size. So I'm going to fold it in half. And then so I'm going to fold it up. So this is going to be a larger one. I'm going to turn it around. So I want this side showing and I want this as the contrast. That's really pretty. I will quickly ink everything. So here we have again the almost square piece of paper, I'd say, and it is folded up on one side and then you fold it the opposite way on that side, and I'm going to leave it with no notches or rounding or anything like that. Oh, let's glue the sides here. So these are really good mass make. So great for my 3 mini journals, which I need to be working on now. Why I can't just make one. I don't know. Answers on a postcard. I have no idea. I just seem to have to go overboard and never get anything finished. And there we are. So that will go on there. So it's a really nice interactive element, and you can stuff it to your heart's content then. And don't forget, if you want to glue it into place, you then create another pocket there. So lots of ideas for you to mass make on that particular interactive element for your journal. And another idea from me, Scrappy Crafter, which is just so simple but lovely, is a fold over from the top of the page. And oh, I've got a little bit of thing there. Let's take that off. I might actually, no, I'll put it over this one for now. So you need a piece of scrap that's double-sided, and ideally you want one side quite plain so that you can use it as a journaling spot. And you want to measure the width of your journaling page. So I want to take off probably about 3 centimetres. What's 3 centimetres in inches? Just under 1.5 inches off this. And so that's gonna fold it. So you want to fold it then in half, and you may want to do a decorative punch there. Now, what me Scrappy Crafter did was she just took an edge off there, which I thought was just lovely. So I'm going to do that. Just an edge. I just thought it was so effective. And it shows that it's a flip. So let's stick to her example. And this is another wonderful mass making idea. Of course, you can make yours a lot longer. I'm just using this as an example because I had a spare piece. Let's go ahead and ink this. And I'm going to quickly stitch around this now before I glue it onto the page. So once you've done your little bits and pieces, and of course you can embellish this then, I might, let's have a look, I could add on a nice button. I think that would look really cool. So I might do that. You could actually stitch it on. If I was Bella, I would be hand stitching it now, but I'm not Bella, so I'm going to probably glue it, but I will put some, I will put a little bit of thread in here. So this is from Rachel's kit, and then I've added glossy accents, which I did find eventually on my desk. So here's the glossy accents. Really quick way to add bling to your projects. Just let that glue gun do its thing. And so with this piece now, so on the inside piece, so yes, so there's a couple of things you could do. You could either put it in and then add a paper clip on the top. I think what would be nice is actually doing a hidden paper clip there as well. That would be a cool idea. But what me Crafty Scrapper did was added glue just to the crease, like that. And do I want to do it on this page? I think I'd rather do it on a plain page. Perfecto. And so you just fold it over like that. And then to have it flipping, what she did then was she just gently folded part of it like that. You could have your hidden journaling spot under there, or you could add any more embellishments, hidden embellishments. And of course you've got two sides to add your embellishments on. So I'm just going to pop that there like that. I'm just thinking, do I want to put some lace? Why not? Let's pop some lace under there. Pop that on top. Oh, actually, I need to glue the lace as well. So let's just do that. More glue. There we go. So that's another little interactive element. It's so simple to do, and I just think those are the best projects, don't you? And again, total mass making. You can just go wild with that, couldn't you? And I think on this one, I haven't really got any contrasting little elements here at the moment in front of me. I do have this. Oh yes. Oh, that's going to have to go on there to go with that tag, isn't it? Right, let's sort this out. There we go, nice and simple embellishment there. And the other thing you could do on these as well, I'm just thinking about this now, is you could pop something there. So if I just show you with a button, so that you could just slip it in and out like that. And it'd be like a little closure. And then what you could do is you could add something inside there as well. And that could be hidden journaling. So there's a couple of ideas there, but I'm just going to leave that like that for now. And if I do any more, I'll do something different on the page. But I really like that idea. Such a simple idea from me, Crafty Scrapper. You'll find a link to her tutorial in the description box. And one final idea for interactive embellishments and, well, interactive ephemera, I should say, is using any type of shape. So you could use a tag or a journaling card, anything, and then just have some journaling space inside it, so it folds like that. And again, super simple idea. And what you want to do is, I've got a sheet of A4 paper here, so any sheet of paper, and you just want to fold it in half. And fold it in half again. And then what you want to do is put it so that your folded half in the middle is on the bottom, and then you've got all these loose pieces here. So you can sort of flip every one of those pieces. So you just want your folded parts on the left and your open parts on the right. And then you get your card, your journaling card. Now I need to make sure that this is straight, and I know for a fact it's not. So let's trim it a little bit quickly. bit better. And what you want to do is you want to glue it in the bottom left hand corner there. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of glue because I'll probably stitch around mine. So that goes on the bottom left, and then you can trim off the excess. And then when you open it up, you'll have your journaling spot there, and you might like to round the corners. Now, if you do round these middle bits, you do get them, you do get that little hole there, so you could just round the top pieces or leave it square if you wanted to. Could just round it like that. We'll see what it looks like when it opens up. That's a bit neater, like that. But I quite like it all the way around, so I'm going to do it all the way around. I'm going to punch. I have to do that by hand. Shocking. A bit of inking. Another perfect mass making project that you can do sitting down on the sofa, and then you've got a nice hidden journaling spot. Okay, that's all the ideas. So I'm going to do a little bit of stitching now, a little bit of mass making, and I'll come back and I'll show you what I've made. So this is what I've made so far. Got a couple of journaling cards, and most of these items I haven't embellished, but a couple I have, and I do. Oh, look at that, I've just put that on the wrong way. How cool is that? Oh dear. Right, let me just glue that quickly. So I've really enjoyed doing this, and I will do the rest of the embellishing on camera when I am able to get back in front of it, which probably will be next week now. I'll have to touch that up a little bit, but there we are. So that's these are my journaling cards. Really, really simple. And here are the wraparound pockets. So I've done a little bit of embellishing there with the tags and a bit of stitching. And I've just got a plain one here that I'm going to embellish, and another plain one here. Then I've got my fold over journaling spots. A couple of these are lightly embellished. Really, really simple. And a couple, oh, that's a wraparound pocket. And that's another fold over. Then I've got my hidden journaling spots here. I did one without any rounding of the corners, but these are all the same. It just maybe different sizes. Some I've actually given a frame so they actually become larger. Oops, that's fallen off. Bear with me. Just chuck a little bit of glue on there. So there we are. So that is those. And then I went mad with the tags, and I did lots of different versions. So I've got front and back double pockets with little journaling cards in them. These are from the cut-offs from the Franken pages. And then just got a little belly band there, another little double belly band and tags. And then this one. So these are the watercolour washes that I did. on camera. And then just got a double pocket there. That's the top of a tag that went horribly wrong, so I cut the top off and used it as a pocket instead. And this one again is a double pocket, front and back. Done a little bit embellishing there, and I love the sort of scrappy look of the watercolour on that one. And again, I love the background colour on that, and needs some decorating. This is another little one. I think the green comes out really well. Not quite sure how it looks on camera, but it looks nice in front of me anyway. That needs embellishing. That's more of a sort of brightish pink. And then we've got this one. So I've really gone contrasting on that colour. This one's looking a bit plain at the minute, so I need to put something on the background and embellish that. This has got the large belly band on there. And then this one is a journaling card. Oh, it's quite tight. And inside it's got a, oh, come on, out you come. Got a tag with another belly band. So, yeah, so that's really good fun. Lots to embellish and lots to play with, which is what I love with this wonderful craft that we do. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Really simple techniques, and please do go check out Me Scrappy Crafter. She has some, so it's Melina, and she has some really nice ideas on her channel, and she's very pleasant to watch, very calming and soothing, and I really do enjoy watching her videos. And please do give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Keep on following the collaboration. I think we're in our 12th week now, are we? I'm sure we are. Next week I'm actually up on, I don't really know which day it is, probably Thursday. I think it's, what are we doing? Using leftover bits next week. So after the weekend I will get on with that video and yes, see what I can come up with, some ideas for that tutorial. But until then, I will leave you with a little puppy update at the end of this video, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye for now.
Soul searching, fall apart, tunnel vision, hiding in the dark. Well, I ain't gonna holler before I really bleed. Salvation, a quick fix remedy. You said I never could change. I thought I never could change. They said I never could change. Damn right, I never would.